Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning to you. Yes, I have a cold, but just like when I had COVID, I'm going to soldier through. We're going to get this video done. So follow me through. There's a lot to cover. Let's go. Here we are. It's the King's birthday, and Meghan Markle breaks cover for the first time in months. And once again, she's by herself. She is there to support a friend who has started a new business venture. It's called Highbrow Hippie. Once again, strapless dress. Look at my shoulders. Look how sexy I am. And once again, she's draped over the woman whose night it is her night. You get what I'm saying? A video then came out of this woman whose business it is, giving a speech, thanking somebody for their support. And of course, Meghan Markle is there trying to look her best and, look fabulous. Here we are, a little slower. She's still clapping like a seal and trying to look, nice and supportive during the speech, whatever. I found it very interesting that to celebrate this, they brought a gospel group by the name of Raise in. And of course, Meghan was boogieing down while constantly scanning the room to see who's watching her. It's weird. And of course, while the speech was being given, watch Meghan on the left there. Oh, yeah, she has to turn around and then she's talking to the guy next to her. It's her typical flirty stuff that she does. Unimpressed. You guys, did you see what I just saw? Is Meghan Markle on a date? Who is this guy to her left? If you look, she's got her hand on him like she does to Harry all the time. Here it is in picture form. Do you see that? She's got her hand on him. Let me zoom in. You see that, right? That's her arm in front of her face. Here it is again in slow-mo. Look, her arm, she's hanging on to this guy. Who is that? Oh my. Ooh. That is the same guy that she's next to. This is her gay hairdresser who got paid like $10,000 for that ridiculous bun, at her wedding, that messy hair that she had. So he's white, bald. We know how she feels about that. He's wealthy. And on top of that, because he's gay, she'll never have to sleep with him. This is like the perfect pairing. Her behavior in this entire thing, right down to when she kissed this lady on the cheek, trying to make the whole thing about her, her behavior was just inappropriate, in my opinion. All right, so I went on the internet and I went to the website for these products. And the first thing that popped out at me is that this woman is also the hairdresser for Julia Roberts. Please do not assume that just because she does the hair for Julia Roberts, that somehow Julia Roberts equates to a friendship with Meghan Markle, because I don't believe that for 1 second. So anyway, you go on this woman's website and she starts putting up pictures of all of her clients. And of course, one of the ones she puts up is, Julia Roberts. Under Julia's bio, she talks about her red hair, how never two appointments are the same. As a colorist, it keeps you on your toes. How do I create natural dimension with the red hair? The different things that you do. But she doesn't talk about Julia personally. She talks about Julia as her client, which is appropriate. The only thing she says personal is at the very bottom. She says, and I'm quoting, "Thank you, Julia, for being the ultimate muse and color chameleon. No matter what color we try, I'm always left challenged and inspired. And as an artist, I simply can't think of a better gift." And we know that Julia, like a lot of other people, is all about the environment. So, of course, there's something on the website about how this is a conscious brand who, cares for their surroundings. Now, this is when the bios start to change, because the next bio is for her friend and client, Cleo Wade. And she goes on and on about this new book that this woman wrote. She quotes some of the book, and then she's kind enough to put a link up so you can buy the book. I thought this was supposed to be about hair. Then, of course, we go back to the fact that this picture above on the right is the owner of this hair care place in a photo with Meghan Markle. So anyway, you go back to the website and Meghan's picture is the largest one, which I found interesting. But then you go into her bio and it's basically an I love you, Meghan, spread. She talks a little bit about the hair and the coloring, etc. She puts more pictures of Meghan up than anybody else. And then she puts, and I'm quoting, Meghan's hair was styled by herself for the duration of the Invictus Games. Crazy impressive, I know. Congratulations to Prince Harry on another year at the helm of such a wonderful and important event. What the heck does that have to do with her coloring Meghan's hair? Absolutely nothing. But I think one of the reasons why Meghan's got the biggest spread and the most pictures is because Meghan is one thing that the other women aren't. She's an investor. Now, you should know one other thing. There is a co-founder of this company and a co-salon owner and longtime friend, Micah Harris, who appears to have just been pushed to the back. So here's what the article says. The line's potential has drawn attention from Markle, not just as a client, but as an investor. Because Cotty has a mastery of hair health, and her collection is a perfect reflection of that. And I am proud to invest in her as a friend and a female founder. So basically, she's adding this to her portfolio of investments. Now, you can go on their website and look for yourself, but the highbrow hippie hair oil and the supplement are not FDA approved or verified. And the complex is non-refundable. Just like the coffee, you can order it, pay a ton for it, but if you don't like it, it's non-refundable. One more comment, personal, of course. I think if you're going to start a business, you should keep your politics to yourself. I don't care what you think about politics. I'm not going to tell you what I think about politics. So to start off on your website by putting up a whole, thing about how you hate Trump and what you think of Trump, you're going to turn off a lot of people that may have wanted to have bought your products. Just my opinion. Let's move on now. This article came out. I was like, let's point out the obvious. Meghan has made some decisions that have come back to bite her. We know that when Meghan joined the royal family, there was originally a lot of high hopes for her. They were so excited. They thought she represented a shift in the monarchy. She brought diversity into the firm, biracial, and, she's been an actress, and it was great. But then they did some really stupid things. First, they did the Oprah show, making it sound like the royal family was a cult, and she claimed that they denied her help when her mental health was on a downward spiral. Then, of course, there were the racism claims when she was pregnant with Archie about the conversations regarding, the color of his skin. People were not thrilled with Meghan's accusations, and they basically called her out for playing the victim card because Meghan knew she could depend on claims of racism to draw attention away from all of her negative behavior, because this is about the time that the rumors were swirling about her mistreatment of palace staff. Let's also not forget that Meghan decided she wasn't going to take the public photo with Archie after his birth. She did not announce her birth plan. She refused to announce who Archie's godparents are. And when you're part of the royal family, the taxpayers have a right to know certain information. And so Meghan's secrecy over Archie was a bad decision. The truth is, Meghan was completely ignorant about her role as a royal. The whole thing about I didn't know how to curtsy, even though she had curtsied on Suits, and even though she admits to taking ballet and tap classes as a child. And what's the first thing they teach you during those classes? How to curtsy. Let's not forget that when Meghan went on her first royal tour, she didn't understand the whole representation thing. And she went on these tours and she kept making comments about how silly it was that people were meeting her, and then made the comment about how she should be paid for people to meet her. You guys remember all of that. This is no different. I think the problem is Meghan Markle couldn't figure out that celebrities make it all about them, but royal family members make it about others. And this was the issue Meghan had, because let's face it, the second she left the royal family, she made sure she was on the cover of all these magazines and she was in all these spreads and she's giving interviews and she's making it all about her. Her. This was her major problem. We all heard the palace reports Meghan was a bridezilla. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. She bullied Charlotte at the wedding. We all heard about the incident where Catherine was made to cry. And the palace stood by their reports about Meghan and her demanding and persistent behavior. How about after she left the royal family but still ran around telling everybody she's the Duchess of Sussex, and she did that horrible thing at the Uvalde area after the school shooting? She was just there to boost her public image. She walked back and forth, kneeling in front of a memorial site and laying flowers, and then she sent the pictures to the media, which was just absolutely disgusting. It's just like with the honey bun dress when she went to the LA Children's Hospital Gala. She went in, she had her picture taken, she barely interacted with anybody, few handshakes, and then she left. That's why she comes across like a trashy D-list actress instead of a duchess. She never understood that to join the royal family meant you had to care about somebody else other than yourself. And it's because of Meghan, and I'm going to say, and Harry's behavior and the trashing of the royal family that they've alienated almost everybody in the United States. Meghan is seen now as nothing but just a massive narcissist who spends all of her time complaining about the 2 years she was in the royal family. I just find it absolutely shocking to this day. She's been out longer than she was ever in, and yet her entire narrative revolves around the royal family. Truth is, she only is where she is because of who she married, and now we know that that marriage isn't doing well either. I'll be interested to see where she ends up. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button and the bell, and then go down into the description box after you've left your comments where you'll find the link to video number 2. Follow me over. Let's go.